All right, so we have completed assignment 1. We have our Photoshop file here. We can get rid of these smart layer texture fills that we brought in. So that one might be nice to use just generally. So I might leave that in there. I also have the icicles, which I might use later. So it's fine to leave layers turned off and available in your PSD file, but don't use any layers you know you're not going to use, because Photoshop files already take up a lot of space. We've cropped it down. Our final image size should fit within a 13 by 19 piece of paper and should not be smaller than 8 by 10 inches. And it should be at least 300 pixels per inch resolution. Our lab standard is 350. So this is great. All that checks out. Now I'm going to save it, and that will be my PSD file. And where at one point it was like 1.5 gigs with all of the extra layers and the extra space, now all told with all the layers, it's just under 1 gig. It's 837 megabytes. When flattened into one layer, it would be 70 megabytes, which is still a lot for a PSD file. So that's not going to work for submitting it to Photobucket. So what do we do now? We say File, Save As, and we're going to save it in a new format, an online format, which is JPEG, because we don't need transparency. We want it to be a rectangle. So I say JPEG. I'm going to navigate it to the desktop. Command D is the shortcut for that. And now this is important. The reason we use JPEG is we get to set the quality. And we have preview turned on so that we know how much space it would take. So at the highest quality, 12, it would be 11.1 megabytes, which is, I'm able to put that up to Photobucket, but it's a lot larger than it needs to be because this is just my JPEG. So I want it to be around 5 megabytes. Hopefully not larger than 5 megabytes. And so quality of 10 is going to get me there. And a quality of 10 is still maximum image quality. So then I say, okay, it's going to save to the desktop. It's right there. I can open it up in preview and just check it. That looks really good. All right. And now I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, does this show at least 5 different elements? How do I know? Well, I have my sketch which shows my intentions. You know, you guys didn't record everything you did, so I can't verify bringing in each layer. But if I see your sketch and your intentions, and then I see your work, I'll know where to look for seams and look for where the elements go together, and hopefully not be able to tell because it will be so believable. And of course, we'll work on this throughout the semester to make it a portfolio project. We'll be returning to this project in particular in assignment 3 when we bring a creature and make it fit into this landscape. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. I have my JPEG saved. If I don't have my sketch, I could also do this. I could turn off all my remaining layers because my sketch is underneath them all, right? And I could submit that. But I have my sketch already saved right here. So I'll move that out to the desktop. I like to do my sketches with a warm color and my finished with a cool color. And then I usually will mark my PSDs with green because that's where I'll go to continue working on. Go green. My texture fills, even ones I didn't use, I can move into my image references, and now I'm ready to upload it to Photobucket. I have it bookmarked, so it's easy, but remember you can always get to Photobucket from any computer with a internet connection, and the login and the password are all in our Canvas page. Okay, now I'm going to go to Library, and I'm going to move to Digital 1. And I want to put my sketch, this is someone else's sketch, I want to move it into the right place. So I'm going to navigate there first. So Digital Assignment 1, or Digital 1 Assignments, Assignment 1, I'm going to go ahead and move this sketch into there because that's how, if you put something in the wrong place, you can move it. And I will upload right into this, and then I need to label them. Right? So I take both of these, I can just drag and drop. I'm in the right assignment folder. Assignment 1, Fantasy Landscape. And I'll see them at the end here. And the first one, my sketch. And I'd like to see your horizontal and your vertical sketch, if you have it. And then I'm going to label it with our semester code, SP17. Keep your titles pretty simple. Then just my first name, and then the number 1 for my sketch. And then for my final, my name and the number 2. That way, I'll know whose work is whose, and they'll show up in the right order in the slideshow. And you can see that this was my description, this is the composition I was going for, this is what I came up with. And those are the elements I need. Okay. Now, last step to organize your files, the all-important cleaning of your desktop. You go into your folder and you want to move your sketch and your JPEG there. And my sketch is marked with orange. My JPEG of my final project is marked with blue, because remember, this has no layers to it. And then my Photoshop assignment, the one that I can go in and keep working on, is marked with green. And when I open this is a mistake some students make in the beginning. They accidentally flatten. We haven't flattened anything. We've just saved as a JPEG. So when you open your Photoshop file, this will be very helpful for later assignments. When we go back to this, you want to have all these different layers. Let me quickly show you why, because it's kind of fun. Or here, I'll just do it with this little 8-bit character from a previous semester. So if I take my little 8-bit pixel portrait here, and I put them into my landscape, he's so excited. Right? By having these layers, I can push him down through the textures. I can make him a floating head in the ice. You know, I can basically pick where I want him to be. Whoops. Texture fills make it so I have to turn off auto select. There he is. But here he is, you know, terrorizing the background. Boom, 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 boom. But if I didn't save my layers, I wouldn't be able to do that. And now he's eating the moon. Fun stuff. All right, I'll leave him in there for now. And that's all there is to it. All right. And we're going to move on to our critique. Right on time.